fun seekers, and welcome to Cool Breeze Over the Mountains, a podcast where we chronologically step through and discuss each film starring Keanu Reeves. My name is Andrew Gormley, and I am one of your hosts. I am joined on this episode and every episode by my co-host. She's putting spells on every damn body in town, Whitney Nelson.
That's me. Hello, everybody.
And sometimes he don't know the difference between his head and his soul, Evan Wells.
Most times, let's be clear.
Right. Most times, I feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah.
This movie had some better lines for both of you. I feel good about this one. We'll get into that, though. Mm-hmm. Up top, I want to mention you can find the website coolbreezepod.com, email us coolbreezepod@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter @coolbreezepod. If you're watching live on Periscope, thank you for joining us. We see you. Please feel free to drop some comments and some hearts and all that other good stuff that you could do there. If you like what we do and you want to support it directly, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/coolbreezepod. Do all these extras, stickers, all this good stuff. If you don't want to throw any bucks our way, a review on iTunes is a super helpful way. I downloaded the new Podcasts app when I upgraded to the new operating system. It's incredibly difficult to find a way to leave a review now. There's no way to link directly to it. I kind of hate it.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah, it sucks, really. It truly does. But, if you do take the time, many, many thanks go to you.
Yes.
We have some breaking Keanu's here.
Keanu's!
This is just something worth mentioning really, really briefly. Friend of the show and last week's special guest, Asia Romano, has written an article about Keanu's new relationship. This is kind of big news. The internet's boyfriend is now someone's actual boyfriend.
Yeah, it's been sent to me a lot of times.
Right, I've received it. I've received it a lot as well. I definitely recommend checking out Asia's article. Kind of puts this in perspective. We're talking, of course, about Alexandra Grant. They showed up to, I believe it was a premiere or some kind of event together over the weekend. They looked extremely happy. It was great, holding hands, all this stuff. I just thought this was worth mentioning up top because, as a tweet so eloquently put it, the one thing we can all agree on is Keanu Reeves' happiness. He crosses all borders and boundaries.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, Ev, what are we talking about today?
Oh, man. We are talking about a really great movie.
Okay.
It's called The Gift. And there was actually a couple of these. So this is The Gift from 2000, just to clarify, because I might have looked at the wrong one.
Not the 2000. Did you watch the wrong one or just look at the wrong one?
No.
Okay, all right.
You were at the end of the 2015 The Gift, and you were like, where is Keanu?
Wait,
jeez. I didn't even see him.
He really disappeared into the role for this one.
The plot synopsis, according to IMDb, is as follows. A woman with extrasensory perception is asked to help find a young woman who has disappeared. This was directed by Sam Raimi?
Raimi? Yeah.
Raimi. Who you no doubt know from his work on The Evil Dead and the original Spider-Man trilogies.
Yeah.
Another interesting note is that one of the co-writers of this film is Billy Bob Thornton.
The Billy Bob, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, the one and only.
Pretty great creep. Co-starring alongside Keanu in this film is, actually quite an impressive list of names.
The cast in this is redonk.
It's nuts.
Cate Blanchett, Giovanni Ribisi, Katie Holmes, Greg Kinnear, Hilary Swank, Greg Cole, and J.K. Simmons. So it's actually really fun to watch for that reason because you just keep seeing incredible actors and actresses, and that that's just fun.
Even late in the movie, second act, that's when. Getting into the second act, that's when J.K. shows up. You're like, holy shit! It's just more people keep showing up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that if you watch it with your parents, one of them is going to say, "That's that guy from," and they start snapping their fingers.
Yeah,
he was in, and so that's what's fun about it.
Got it.
But Whitney,
Yes.
what did the critics and audiences think of this here film?
Well, we have a critical reception of 57% and an audience score of 55%. I don't know that that's what I would have expected after having seen it. I would have expected higher than that.
For both, or just one or the other?
Both camps.
Oh.
Both camps, but mostly audience. I can definitely see what the critics are saying, and I have some, I'm not sure where I fall on the scale with this movie either. So I'm probably right around the 50-50 mark for me as well, because there was a lot that was good and a lot that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So, but it was all in all 100% about the cast, and every single one of the cast turned in good performances. So when you see like a 55% score from the audience, I think that it was more engaging than the audience score is giving it credit for, even if it's not the best movie I've ever seen. We've got a critic quote from John Hartle of the Seattle Times, who says, Raimi's latest picture, The Gift, looks like an attempt to create a classier version of the kind of horror movie that established his reputation nearly 2 decades ago. And I think that's probably pretty apt.
Yeah.
And then we've got a user quote from Rotten Tomatoes. Riff J gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And he says, this was a pretty good thriller that had horror vibes. It's not particularly scary, but it's interesting from beginning to end. The premise is sound and the acting is very good. Not much to complain about.
I like that.
I'll take that. Thanks, Riff.
Yeah.
That's more or less where I fell on the end of things. But so we also have a listener review from Christina, who sent us her thoughts on this movie.
All right, The Gift. I think it's safe to say that this is one of the most despicable characters Keanu has ever played by a long shot. And it hits even harder because this is kind of a major follow-up to The Matrix. We've so used to seeing Keanu play heroes, and now he's this cruel, woman-beating racist. And I think not only does he play it convincingly, Sam Raimi knew how to direct him and to properly kind of use his menace in a way nobody ever had before, and I think very few people have accomplished since. I'll be honest, I really love seeing Keanu play against type and really throw himself into it, no matter how evil of a character it is. And for no reason other than that, I think this is really, people should check it out.
Boom.
Oh, I love it.
We are all on the same page with that. That is
Yeah.
very well worded, but that's...
Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Christina. That's awesome.
Nice work. I'm just going to dive right in. I am not much of a scary movie person.
Yeah.
I tend to stay away from them for a couple reasons. One, I don't like that sensation of being scared, but also sometimes I find it hard to relate to scary movies because, every now and then the plot lines are like a little ridiculous. Like, okay, don't go get in your shower if you think there's someone in your house. Like, just don't do that. But that said, I like a good thriller. So this was definitely, that's why I like that review, because this was definitely on the line of thriller and like scary or horror, however you want to say that. I don't know about horror, right? I think horror is a little bit more of like gushing blood and like ear-piercing screams and stuff, which there was some of that, but
yeah,
I don't know if we have to debate
like jump
that.
Scares.
Yeah, so
that
that's
I think
the other
took
thing.
It from thriller to horror. Like when you say there's a little bit of horror, that's the kind of stuff that I think people are talking about. Is that because like thrillers just ramp up tension and keep it going, and that's what makes them thrillers. Horror has scares, and this movie had a couple of like jump scares in it. So I think that's the kind of like notes of horror that people are talking about. But overall, I would not consider it a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that jump thing is the other piece I want to talk about, and I don't like. It feels like a cheap way to scare someone.
Oh yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't know if we've talked about that before, but it has like. I hate the reaction that I have to jumps in movies. Like I feel it all. It goes like down to my feet, and I hate it like with a passion. Like I curse at the screen. So, like when you knew they were coming, they were really good about the music. They were really good about setting up the jumps, and honestly, the way that they framed them was cool. Like that. How it worked, how it was like her visions and stuff. That gave it a little bit more color than just like a guy jumping out of a closet with a knife. You were kind of connecting with her and almost feeling bad that she was like stricken with these terribly scary visions. So that was neat. But overall, I thought it was good. Like on all these bullets, the pacing was good. I thought the plot was cool. Like one of the reviews, it was different, at least from an originality perspective. I think there's going to be those moments in these kinds of movies where you're like, okay, that guy did it, or yeah, she's going to be there, or there's going to be a dead person. Fine. But still, overall, like the arc, I think was cool. And the way that they developed Annie, I thought was great. Mm-hmm. The way that they developed Buddy was really great.
Yeah.
Like his character was unreal. And so even Keanu's character, he was kind of an asshole the whole time, but you got to see him in a few different kind of characters, if you will. And so for Keanu, I thought this might sound bad, but I thought he like really nailed this role. And I don't want to say that because he's playing like one of the worst people.
Sure, definitely.
And it's weird to be good at that, but at the same time, this falls more into like the action hero side of acting than it does into like the romantic side of acting, right? And so I think that's why we're seeing him succeed in this. Like when he gets energized and angry and serious is when he is like at his best. So all of that lent itself to this role. And then from a technical perspective, I was actually pretty impressed with the effects. I thought they were better than they were going to be.
They held up surprisingly well.
Yeah. And especially with some of the stuff they were trying to get across, like a woman floating in the water in a tree. Like that's tough to depict because it goes against a lot of physics, but they still like nailed that. And even some of the makeup and some of that stuff, the corpses, like all of that, I thought was good. So good work on the editing, good work on kind of presenting it on the screen in general. So I thought it worked for me.
Great.
Yeah.
Whitney, do you want to pick up where I've left off?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of it. I think the main character has a very, very good amount of character development. I think she's incredibly, and I don't necessarily, I mean, that's not to say that it's Cate Blanchett didn't do a good job, because she did an incredible job, but I also think that it was well written for like the characters all felt three-dimensional.
Yeah. Which
I especially find with movies that take place in the South, they tend to be more caricatures and not three-dimensional people. And this one was very much, they were all three-dimensional people. So I feel like the characters were great. I feel like her story was great. I totally agree on Keanu. I think this is a very good example of the difference between when he is in it, when he's making a movie, and when he's not. When you compare what we just watched last week with what we watched this time. They're both very different characters, but they're also both unhinged. They're both unsettling. And one, I didn't buy at all. And the other one, I bought completely, and I think was an incredible role for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the amount of like, and he even said with, what was it, Dracula, that he was like, I shouldn't have taken that movie. I wasn't in it. And I think that that's really where it falls down to, is he is good when he's in it. Every time. He can play a crazy person. You know, obviously the serial killer in the other movie was different. But I just think that this is a really shining example, pitting those two up against one another. He did them back to back. And it's like, oh, there's such a world of difference in those performances. I think pacing and plot are the downfalls of this movie.
Yep.
I think that as soon as they pull the body out of the pond, it goes downhill. The first 50 minutes of this movie are great. They are very well paced. They are tense. They are giving you a bunch of clues as to the potential people in this town that it might be, but they're not leaning too far in any one direction. The ramping up the tension with Keanu's character alongside of tension ramping up in other areas too. It's just, I feel like the first 50 minutes of this movie are great. I feel like things go downhill as soon as we're done at the pond and pulling the body out, and we can, spoiler alert for what we're going to talk about in like 20 minutes. There's the body in a lake, a pond.
Yeah.
But I feel like it becomes very unfocused. I feel like we start switching who's telling what story and why, where we didn't for the first half of the movie. Like, I felt like it was set up beautifully and I was very engaged, and it just started meandering, and there was still some tension there, and I think that's due to the performances. Like, it kept me watching, but I was far less interested in the back half of this film than I was in the first half. And I think that that's really kind of where it let me down personally. And I think that the number one like trope of movies like this is that it's the fiance.
Yep.
And I feel like they didn't do a good enough job of making it not Greg Kinnear. Because the whole time I was like, it's Greg Kinnear. Guys, it's Greg Kinnear. Guys, it's Greg Kinnear.
I
Greg
actually
Kinnear
didn't do that. I didn't.
Oh, really? I did the whole time.
No, I didn't.
And there was once or twice where they tried to make you think it was Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought that was interesting when they're pulling in different people. Obviously, the lawyer, that was a good one. Like, I like the red herrings that they have, but I don't think that they leaned on any of them hard enough, because the whole time I was like, well, obviously it's Greg Kinnear. Obviously.
Come on, everyone.
And then it was Greg Kinnear, so.
I was too worried about the next jump that I was like ignoring that it was him.
There were a couple of jump scares. So I did like this horror movie challenge in October where I watched, what was it, like 36 movies in 30 days.
Jesus.
And I watched a lot of horror movies, and I'm really not usually a horror movie person, but it was really fun. It was an interesting exercise. It actually reminded me a lot of doing this podcast, because it was a lot of stuff that I would never have ever seen otherwise. I would never have sought it out, except for I had to like, you know, one of the challenges was there has to be an actor in the movie that died this year.
Whoa.
So in the last calendar year, from last Halloween to this Halloween, they have to have died. And so you've got to find any movie with someone who's died in the last year that was a horror movie and that kind of stuff. But I didn't jump in most of them. Like, I jumped 2 or 3 times in this movie. The jump scares were very, very jumpy.
Yeah.
That's a Sam Raimi thing. Yeah.
That lightning, like 30 seconds in, really got me.
Yeah.
Really got me. Because you're still in the establishing shots. You had no idea that was coming. And I just want to say before I wrap up and we move on to Andrew's thoughts, I stan Giovanni Ribisi. I have since he was in the X-Files episode.
Yes!
Prior to him having but then when he did something so different and out of character in Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, although I don't like that movie, his performance is incredible. And I just think that and then if you have Amazon Prime and you haven't seen Sneaky Pete, go watch it. But that man is an incredible actor, and he brings such a grounded realism to even the most wacky characters. And he always gets put in wacky characters, like Phoebe's brother on Friends. Like, he gets the weird parts, but he brings such a down-to-earth, grounded, like, whole, character feel to them. It's just, they feel like real people every time. Yep. And that's because he's so talented. And I had no idea he was in this movie, and I was very excited that he was in it, and also how good his part was for him.
Yep, definitely. He nailed it.
Totally agree. Absolutely.
His, that scene where he, breaks down in the tow truck was, I was floored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yep. Okay, Andrew, what did you think? Did it work for you?
All right. I have some notes. A lot of this stuff I agree with the two of you. I will say, for me, this movie falls into a very bizarre Venn diagram. These two overlapping circles are, it's a good movie, and then also it's a boring movie. Because I did not necessarily feel a lot of that tension that you both had described. Like, this is billed as a thriller or a suspense movie, like whatever you want to call this. And for me, like, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm like, it was probably Greg Kinnear. It was probably Greg Kinnear. Like, all these things that you're seeing, all these things, and it's a Sam Raimi situation. So I'm like, all right, let's see where he's going to take us here. The only time I felt real tension in this movie was the scene where the dad is tied to the chair and there's a canister of gasoline. And I was like, holy shit, what is going to happen here? Like, that was
a great scene.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was nuts. So that I was like, that part of the movie really, I was like, wow, I'm in this. But for the rest of it, I was like, I'm sitting here admiring the performances more than the story necessarily. I could say that. I agree. This whole thing hinges on, in my opinion, Cate Blanchett and Giovanni Ribisi, right? And they are, I think that those two characters are two sides of a coin, right? So you have Kate, she's playing like a genuinely good-natured person who is like continually fighting like to keep this darkness at bay. And then on the other side, you have Giovanni's character, Buddy, who is total darkness, kind of, but there's a good-natured person in there somewhere, right? Like, he's breaking down the whole movie. Like, it's just a series of breakdowns for him. So I thought that the foil that those two characters had was really, really nice. Keanu was great in this. And it's really weird. Like, Ev, I'm right there with you. It's weird. It's weird to say that because like 2 movies in a row, we've watched him be the antagonist. And last time he did like an admirable job, but that The Watcher had like a lot of other problems that had nothing to do with Keanu, I think. Just that brought the whole situation down. I really liked him in this. Like, not the character, clearly, but oh, what a performance it was.
Yeah, definitely.
He brought a lot of energy to it.
Yeah, like more than sometimes we're used to. He tends to play it cool and like reserved, and this was nice to see him get in people's face, you know. And what you said about the characters, like the other characters, because this is truly like an ensemble thing, and in the South, right? They feel more 3-dimensional. My worry going in was that it almost felt like a little tropey at first, because you have like like when you think of these types of Southern Gothic films, like you maybe have like a battered wife and like a skeptical sheriff, and like there's this working class guy. He could be a lawyer, a chef, a mechanic, whatever. You're like, oh, okay. But all of these people felt like truly authentic. I really, really liked it. They did not lean into the trope. They made it all their own. I don't know about the two of you. I got some serious Cape Fear vibes from this movie, which is like a big compliment that I can give it. Like, especially the parts where Keanu was kind of like stalking the Cate Blanchett character at parts. I was like, ooh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of tension that I was talking about specifically, was like the Keanu Reeves, Cate Blanchett tension.
Yeah.
More so than the murder tension. Like I said, as soon as her body gets pulled out of the lake and we go to trial, I don't think the movie's nearly as good anymore.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Once that threat is taken away.
We're in a courtroom and it's become a murder mystery, and the murder mystery part is not anyone who's involved's forte as far as writing or directing or whatever. Like, when it was much more supernatural, what's going on, where's the girl, who flashes of things, and Keanu's trying to get her, and we think that, he might kill her at any moment, or her kids. Like, that part of the movie was great. If they had kept it to that instead of turning it into like a trial with a lawyer and a murder mystery and the fiance did it kind of a thing, I think it would have been a much better movie, because all the performances were so great. But that just kind of fell really flat. But I think that the Keanu stalking Cate Blanchett was very good.
Yeah, that's the cinema sin we've seen twice now with Keanu. When they go into a courtroom, it's all over. You've derailed the film. I agree. I very much agree with that. There were scenes that I really liked that worked. I didn't necessarily feel that they were tense, but I was like, damn, this is something else. Like when the one kid is like going to run an errand for Cate Blanchett's character, and Keanu Reeves pulls up alongside in the truck, and he's like trying to.
Good scene.
But then Giovanni shows, and I was like, the whole thing was explosive. I really, really liked it. I have 2 more thoughts. The one is just I really liked the presentation of her powers. This kind of goes with what you said, Ev, about the special effects and stuff like that. I don't think it didn't feel over the top, which is why I think it still holds up.
It's very restrained.
Right, which is weird for Sam Raimi. I got to be honest.
Yes.
He's not a person.
That's not a word people usually say about him.
Yeah,
restrained.
Truly. So that was really nice. The other thing, and I want both of your opinions on this, because maybe this is just me. I feel like there was a lot of violence against women in this movie. Like, so much so that, like, me, a white dude who has to actively try to, like, pay attention, I was like, it feels too much. Am I wrong? Like, Kate got, like, essentially she got strangled. She got punched in the stomach. She was almost murdered. We start off with a shot of Hilary Swank, who's had the just beaten up a whole lot.
Boy, was that good makeup. That was painful to look at.
Yeah.
It was.
The eye was like, oh my God. And then the lip is, yeah. I don't know. It felt a little excessive.
Hopefully, right? Hopefully it's excessive. Unfortunately, it's like super hard to know, but I don't remember feeling like, and this is probably just a sad representation of society, but I don't remember feeling like this is more than what's out there. For me, it was believable, which is awful.
It was definitely a lot, and I obviously don't enjoy watching that, but I also feel like it really sort of helped to put a spotlight on how hard a life she's living because she wants to do the thing that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that she gets the shit beat out of her, and so does the only other woman we ever really see. It just kind of increases the, like, this woman has a hard life.
Yeah.
And I think if there had been violence against one other woman in this movie, other than obviously the victim, it's a murder mystery. Someone's got to die. There's got to be violence there.
Right, yes.
If there had been violence against a fourth woman, I would have immediately turned the movie off. I would have just stopped, no matter how good it was, no matter having to talk about it on the podcast, because then it's literally every woman that's on screen. In the case that it was a lot, but also Sam Raimi has a lot of violence against women and a lot of stuff he does. Also,
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, he has a track record of that, so
I think that in this particular case, it always bothers me, especially with the battered wife, and just how, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
I think the redeeming, if there's something to take away from that is like a redeeming quality, just going off what you said, it's like the women are the main characters of this. The guys all are backseat to the women, who are very smart and capable in this movie. They figure it all out. The guys are just along for the ride, which is
that's
which
true.
is good. So it's worth noting that it's kind of like
there's a lot of violence against women. All of the violence in this movie is against women.
Right. I think it was maybe just that punch in the stomach that, like, I was like, really? Did we? I don't know.
I wasn't expecting that. That's true. That was a surprise.
There were like 6 people on the way between Keanu and her, right? And none of them stopped this guy. So that just felt a little over the top. But overall, I like this movie. Again, it fit into this weird thing where I was like, I'm here for these performances, and the story is okay. But the performances are out of this goddamn world.
Everyone delivered. It's honestly, it's shocking to me that I found this movie as middling as I did, considering that every single person did a good job.
Likewise.
Greg Kinnear did a great job.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons did a great job. Like, everybody in this movie crushed it. And that's the only thing that carries the movie. But I honestly think everyone crushed it so hard that it feels like it should have even carried them more.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if you only had 3 of these performances, that's like, I don't know what wrong for me personally, but I'm like, damn, I've seen stories with worse movies, but like one performance stood out. But I don't know what made that one like go higher on my list than this. It's just so weird, but overall, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's like very
definitely
middle for me, but that's that.
All right.
Do we have anything else? Is that it? We're good? We covered it all?
I think it's time to broadcast to the universe.
Let me fire up the satellites
That's
here.
an interesting way to put it. Broadcast to the universe.
Well, aliens
Aren't
are
we
waiting.
already doing that?
Yeah, but like we're gonna turn up the dial.
Yeah, it needs to
Okay. You
go
crank
to
it to 11.
Just work with me, Whitney. God.
All right, here we go. Interstellar favorite. I get where you're going, Ev.
Yeah, no, I got it too.
Pop quiz, asshole. There was a time when I had the need to learn from you.
Oh, what the hell do you know? Lose! I don't lose! I win!
You got a lot to learn about sportsmanship.
Pop Quiz Asshole is our very own Quizzo show where the host, in this case, Ev, asks the contestants each 3 questions worth 1 point. If one of us gets it wrong, the other player has a chance to steal. Ev can add bonus questions worth a point value of his choosing if he has them. Do you?
There are 2.
Holy smacks! All right.
Alrighty.
Last week's episode, I stopped counting because of the Baldwin hole, but I've calculated the points. Whitney nabbed 4 and Ev got 1. So the current scores are as follows. Whitney has 60. Good God. Ev has 38 and I have 35. So I got to make some moves. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling bad about myself. Let's do this thing.
Andrew, you're first, right?
I'm ready to be correct. Here we go.
Okay. Whose mom is this movie based on for her psychic abilities?
What?
Is it A, Billy Bob Thornton, B, Katie Holmes, or C, Robert Zemeckis?
The director, Robert Zemeckis?
Correct. Who's directed this?
Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
What? No, hold on. Sam Raimi directed this.
No, you're right. Sorry, I was looking at something else. My apologies. Yeah, I just threw myself off.
Thank you. You scared me.
Continue.
So my guess, I'm gonna go with Billy Bob. Woohoo! Easy one.
Wait, where did I see Zemeckis?
What are you talking? What? It's for your other podcast.
That never happens to me here, except for the one time where I wrote down someone's name wrong and called them the wrong name the whole entire time.
Oh God!
Because it
good
just,
stuff.
while I was taking my notes live in my head, I mixed up names, and then I felt like a real douche afterwards.
Guess what? The audience will never know because I edited out. It's all gone. It's all lost to time.
I
now.
know. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
How that happened, I don't know.
It's fine. It was so fun.
I don't know where I got Zemeckis.
You're really looking
from.
out for me there.
This is gonna make me upset. Okay,
All right.
Whitney.
Yes.
What kind of cards is Annie Wilson using to perform the readings?
Oh.
Are they A, tarot cards, B, Zener cards, or C, geomancy cards?
They're Zener cards.
You did it! Whitney knows stuff.
They use those to test ESP.
That's true. Strange that you knew that.
I've never been tested for ESP, if that's what you're wondering. But no, like anytime you've seen in a movie where there's like one person in front of glass and another person on the other side of the glass and there's cards and it's like, what am I looking at? It's never like a deck of regular playing cards. It's always like the X and the square and the circle. And I noticed that specifically in this movie because I was like, why is she telling fortunes with an ESP testing deck?
Yeah, neat. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
That's pretty wild.
Well, good job.
All right.
Andrew, kind of going off of the last question, it could be any deck of cards, aside from like playing cards, but they have to represent 4 elements have to be present in order to give a reading. What are those 4 elements?
Son of a
This is
bitch.
not multiple choice.
Okay. I'm going based off of my vast video game knowledge here. So,
Oh, good.
earth, air, fire, and water. Yeah! Thank you, Final Fantasy.
So you can the idea being you can assign any symbol you want to any of the elements. You just have to know what they are,
That's fun.
which is kind of cool.
The only one I noticed for her cards was clearly water, like waves, kind of. But yeah, I didn't. The other ones was like a square. I guess you could. That's like whatever she wants it to be. That's cool.
It did kind of seem weird because one was like weird 3 wavy lines, and the other 2 were just like block shapes.
Pretty much. One was a diamond and at a square or something, but it's cool.
And a plus sign, I think there was, or a cross. Okay. Great work. Whitney,
Yes.
what other movie was Sam Raimi working on while directing this movie? Is it A, Spider-Man, B, The Grudge, or C, For Love of the Game?
What?
Weird. All of those are weird. I'm trying to picture the timeline of those movies in my head, and I cannot. Like, I cannot in my head. There's nowhere where, like, Spider-Man in relation to For the Love of the Game.
Right.
Oh, there was
like
weird.
But
Son
I
of a
think
bitch.
I'm gonna go with Spider-Man 2002. I'm gonna go with Spider-Man. Woo!
Never bet
That was by
against
the skin of
Spider-Man.
my teeth, you guys.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, man. Okay, Andrew.
All right, here we go.
How long did it take to shoot this movie?
Oh,
Was it A, 6 months, B, 8 weeks, or C, 1 year?
oh, fun. I'm gonna. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give a little bit of a justification. I'm gonna say it. Sam Raimi, up until he got these big, huge trilogies, right? He's a pretty scrappy guy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
he's
go.
kind of a run and gunner.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8 weeks. Whitney, we are doing it. We are
You
actually.
guys are crushing it.
This is
We are
a
destroying.
very good round of trivia.
Holy shit, Ev, nicely done.
Yeah, or I suck at it.
No, these are great. These are great questions.
All right, Whitney, don't break the streak.
Oh, great. No additional pressure.
So while researching this role, Cate Blanchett went to an actual fortune teller. What did this fortune teller say to Cate Blanchett while she was researching? So what was her fortune? Was it A, to give up acting, B, to marry Keanu, or C, to get a bodyguard?
What?
But luckily she didn't follow the advice of don't keep acting.
Yeah. What the hell? That's shitty advice if it's true.
It is shitty advice. Also, marry Keanu is weird advice. The most practical advice is bodyguard, so I'm just going to go with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I thought for sure I was wrong on that one. When you're talking about what a fortune teller says, going with the most logical advice is not usually like a good tactic.
But how freaked out would you be if you got that fortune? Like, oh, okay, great.
I guess I should get a bodyguard.
I'm in danger.
Man, do you know like how as an actor, everything you do, you're like, oh, am I doing the right thing? If you go to a fortune teller and they're like, you should probably stop acting. What bullshit would that be?
No. That would be.
We would have lost out on so many great Cate Blanchett roles after the
That
fact.
gets in your head, man.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
You forget your line on the next movie and you're like, maybe I
she was
should
right.
listen to that.
As we all know, they're all money laundering schemes anyway, as Whitney told us. So
According to movies.
you can't trust a fortune teller at all.
Okay, 2 bonus questions.
All right.
This is whoever answers first gets 2 points per.
Whoa.
Well,
All right, I'm going to start the music. Are we ready?
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
The car that Annie drives in this movie is
Oh my
known
gosh.
as the Classic. What is the make of this car? As in, like saying Ford.
Chevy. It's a Chevy.
It is not.
You just named the only 2 American cars that I know. Chevy and Ford. I don't know. I don't know.
Andrew, anything else?
Dodge.
No, not a Dodge.
Dodge. Yeah. That's
Not
fun.
a Dodge.
We don't need to do
Are
a Plymouth. Is it a Plymouth?
No.
God damn it! How many manufacturers are there? I got nothing. I have no idea.
Whitney?
Oldsmobile.
Holy shit,
Oh
she
my
did
gosh.
it! Nicely
Well
done.
Oh, if there had been a timer on
work.
that one, I would not have won.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
that was close.
Woo.
There was a timer in my mind, but it's all good. It was a 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88. Ugh, classic.
Yeah,
All right.
bad the doors don't stay closed though.
Yeah,
Door
such an
problems.
easy fix. Second question. Speaking of the same vehicle,
Oh,
which movie franchise did it appear in its entirety? Every movie in the franchise has this car in it.
get out.
Who's got guesses?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Every movie in this franchise has this car in it.
I'm gonna say The Godfather.
That's a great guess, but no.
That is a great guess.
God damn it.
I'll give a hint that it is in the universe of the movie that we watch now.
Spider-Man.
No.
In the
Universe
universe?
of the movie we just watched. Well, that really throws me off because I didn't know this was in a universe.
Oh, it's a movie that they watched in this movie, is what I'm hearing from that. Because there was like stuff on television and I wasn't paying attention like an asshole the whole time. We talked about this.
No clue. No clue.
I don't watch The World Within the World.
I pass.
She passes. Andrew, anything?
No idea.
No, I got nothing.
Evil Dead. It is in every Evil Dead movie.
Oh, Evil Dead. That makes so much sense. Sam
I was
Raimi.
so close with Spider-Man. It was just the wrong trilogy.
You kind of were, actually, yeah.
Son
I was
of a
getting
bitch.
worried.
Nice.
It's like, man, on that train of thought, it would be his very next guess.
Right, but I
For
really
sure.
fudged the bucket. All right. Great.
That was good stuff.
Yes, it was. Holy, that was great. Really, really great. Nicely done, Ev.
Yeah, the trivia was pretty good for this.
Hopefully
obviously.
that's the case going forward. I'm looking at our next couple movies here, and I think we're in for some good stuff. So that was Pop Quiz. The points are as such now. Whitney tearing it up, 5 points, moving up to 65, and I
Hell
got
yeah.
3, which brings me to 39. I'm now in second place again.
Damn it.
Until next week, when
The
Evan and
battle
I
continues.
battle for last place, as it were. So awesome. I think it's time to do a deep dive. I had a dream that you told us all about this movie, Ev.
Did you really? Does that mean your dream's coming true?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
Evan
Well.
has disconnected.
Yeah. Bye. In Andrew's style, I'm going to take a page from his book and do the Wikipedia plot.
Yeah, it's probably good.
It's good, though. I think it'll be nice. But obviously, feel free to fill in the holes. Okay. So, we are in the town of Brixton, Georgia. And it is actually very obvious through this movie that it's in the South. I think they did a good job of kind of like
Yes.
maintaining very Southern vibes.
Yeah, the trees, those
The
trees you can
trees,
only
yeah.
get in the South. Yeah, I've noticed those
The
immediately.
Spanish moss.
And the,
That's it.
Yeah, the
Don't touch
Spanish
that
moss
stuff.
and the what is it? The wisteria? Is that the drapey
Yeah.
plant that's like Spanish moss but it has flowers?
Yeah, purple flower on it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Nailed it. So, the widow, Annie Wilson, played by Kate Blanchett, is a resident fortune teller. And Jessica King, played by Katie Holmes, is the fiance of a local school teacher, Wayne Collins, played by Greg Kinnear. And Jessica ends up disappearing. Now, Annie receives a vision revealing that Jessica has been killed, and that her corpse was thrown into a pond. That's pretty much all there is. And so Annie takes this to the police like any good citizen. The local sheriff, Pearl Johnson, played by Mr. J.K. Simmons. And despite him being a skeptic all around, Johnson ends up searching a pond at the home of Donnie Barksdale, can't say hero, our favorite person, Keanu Reeves. Yeah. So Donnie Barksdale is a very violent person. He is the husband of one of Annie's clients, played by Hilary Swank. That character's name is Valerie, and he's just generally awful. He's wife beater. He's just not a good person at all, and really will take out his aggression on whoever's in front of him.
Yeah.
So he had actually previously threatened Annie and her kids because Annie had advised Valerie to leave him because he's awful. He beats her up, and we talked about the makeup, and it's really terrible. So
he hit her with razor wire.
Oh yeah, that's just next level.
Yeah, oh my God.
I mean, that's worse than barbed wire. Like, they found the worst kind of wire. Ugh, hate it. So every right for Annie to kind of, and she wasn't like she wasn't super aggressive about it. She's just like, dude, think about yourself.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to do this anymore. So Valerie, Donnie's wife, allows the sheriff to search Donnie's property and ultimately Donnie's pond while he's not there. He was, I don't know, fishing or something.
Yeah.
And he returns while the search is proceeding. He comes screaming back to the house in his giant 1983 Chevrolet K10. Just classic. Up all jacked up and everything's great. And so he gets back and he's all angry. He's like, what are you doing on my property? Y'all are the worst. And he sees Annie there. And this is when, as Andrew was referencing, when he punched her in the gut. And it's just like everyone feels it that's watching this movie.
Yeah.
It was actually really well, like, choreographed and acted by her. But the police end up finding the corpse in the pond, and Donnie's like immediately arrested. So they're really just kind of connecting the dots here that this is Donnie's pond. Donnie has threatened people. Donnie likes to hurt women, and there's a dead woman in his pond. Connect the dots. So during the trial for the murder, it's actually revealed that Jessica and Donnie had an affair. And Donnie is actually ultimately convicted and sent to prison. So this is where you start to kind of realize, like, oh, they're going to turn this. Well, at least me, being someone who's not smart, I guess.
There's 30 minutes of the movie left. There's no way.
So we start to learn more about Giovanni Ribisi's character. His name is Buddy Cole, who's a friend of Annie's. And he has this very deep-seated hatred for his father, right? That has very much affected him into his adult life. He's very broken. He's very mentally unstable. And he's trying to kind of open up about this to Annie. And Annie, in the beginning, is actually trying to get him to talk about it as well. But at this moment, Annie's a little bit preoccupied at this point in the movie because she had been getting threatened, and she had been having more visions about Donnie actually maybe not being the killer. So she's like kind of losing her shit a little bit. And so she's like, buddy, listen, I mean, you're my friend and I love you, but like, I can't do this right now. I need some me time. Like I'm losing my mind. And that just happens to be really bad timing for Buddy. So that evening we end up getting, Annie ends up getting a call from Buddy's mom to come over to Buddy's house like immediately, because Buddy has like actually lost it, and he has his Buddy has his father bound to a chair. He's like duct taped to a chair, and he's just beating the shit out of this guy with like a belt or something similar. Some implement that looks like it hurts like hell.
Yes.
When you're hit with it. Like
So I
it
will
looks
say
so bad.
the one place where I feel like this breakdown has kind of skipped over, like, that was important to the story development, was that this kid was clearly upset and disturbed from, like, the moment we see him for the first time. He's got a lot going on. And she's doing a reading with him about his dad that is essentially just therapy. She's just doing therapy. And he won't talk about his dad, and he won't think about his dad, and he won't remember any memories about his dad. And she's like, well, I can't fix you if you're not going to deal with this. So you got to do some work on your own. I can help you, but you've got to, you know, figure out why your dad is the center of all of this.
Right. Yeah.
And then he, in doing so, realizes that he was abused.
Yeah. Right.
As a young child. And so I think it's important because of how the story winds up, and with her feeling like she wasn't there for him as he realizes this. He, like, runs up to her at the courthouse, and she's like, I can't deal with this, I'm dealing with the trial, and kind of shoves him off, and then he goes off on his own, and next thing you know, he's beating his father strapped to a chair. And she feels guilty for that later on. But I think that it's just...
Oh, just building off what you said, I think that was really well done, how they led us to that conclusion, because the whole movie he's talking about this blue diamond, and you're like, what is he talking about?
Right. Yeah.
And then very clearly during this scene, we see that his father has a blue diamond tattooed, like, on his lower, like
his belly button. Basically.
Yeah, like around his belly. Yeah, around his belly button area, and you're like, you just connect the dots. You're like, ooh, like that. Like,
oh yeah.
It was. I think that was. It wasn't super overt, but like, as soon as you see the diamond, you're like, got it. Now I know what's going on. Now I know why this kid is very troubled.
What was the mantra about the blue diamond? I'm trying to remember what he actually said, because he said
the first time he brings it up, he says, if I look into the blue diamond and I'm thinking negative thoughts, will I die?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then,
man, that's heavy.
And then at the courthouse, he says something about looking into the blue diamond is going to cause negative thoughts. And up until that point, Cate Blanchett had been saying, like, you're not going to die. But here she turned it to, you're not going to have bad thoughts when you look into the blue diamond. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, you're definitely going to have bad thoughts when you look into the blue diamond.
Yeah, right.
That's like the one time that she was saying something that wasn't part of her gift to, like, blow him off so she could worry about her own self.
Yep. Ugh. Ugh. So, Buddy is whooping his ass, and then ultimately douses him in gasoline and sets him on fire. And that's the moment where they, like, really punch in on the blue diamond.
Yeah.
And Buddy is actually arrested, but ultimately taken to a psych ward, mental hospital. And they show the dad actually being ambulance, so he theoretically survives. Later on, Annie receives another vision, ultimately divulging that Donnie is innocent. And so she goes to the main prosecutor from Donnie's trial, played by Gary Cole, character David Duncan, to try and plead with him to reopen the case. And Whitney, to your point, this was where they really started to introduce him as, like, potentially the guy, and I thought they nailed it. Because he's a very believable villain too. And so that was, like, really well done.
We also saw, like, earlier in the movie, he was having an affair with Jessica also. Like, she's, it seems like she sleeps around a lot, even though she's engaged with, Greg Kinnear. Yeah. She's going behind his back quite a bit.
Yeah. And so actually Annie brings that up after he's like, no, I'm not reopening this. It was, like, a super easy case. And she's like, well, you might want to think about that, because I saw you and Jessica getting frisky, and I'm going to talk. Basically, was what she was, like, suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so Duncan's like, well, I'll give you money. And she's like, no. I just want you to figure out who the real murderer is. which was interesting, right? That like they really leaned in on like how great of a person Annie is.
Yeah. Strong moral compass.
Yeah. She hates this Donnie guy, and he's literally in jail right now. Best place for him to be. And she's like, no, he shouldn't be in there. So what ends up happening is that Annie tells Wayne and Donnie, Wayne that Donnie is not responsible for Jessica's death, right? And so and ultimately she's like, Duncan's not going to reopen the investigation. So Wayne, by the way, being from the beginning Greg Kinnear, at Wayne's suggestion, he and Annie drive out to the pond. So he's basically trying to say, well, maybe we can use your vision again to figure out who did it. And so if we take you to the place where it happened, maybe you'll like get the vision. This was right around where I started to determine that Greg Kinnear.
Oh no!
Wait a minute.
It's a rainy night and they're alone together. Uh-oh.
Right. Out in a pond. Yeah. So, this was actually really cool. This whole scene, there's almost like a war within Annie's mind about who it is. And so we're getting like every character. We're getting Buddy. We're getting, the prosecutor. We're getting Wayne. And all of their faces are almost being like superimposed over each of the scenes to be like, oh, well, it could have been Buddy or it could have been Wayne. And it's wild.
Yeah.
And so it's like at the very end, they're still trying to confuse you. So she ends up determining that Wayne is the murderer. And there's this like total change in her demeanor where she's like, I got to get the hell out of here.
Yep.
This is not great. And so Wayne ends up kind of catching on to this, and he starts to tell his side of the story, right? That he found out that Jessica was cheating on him with Donnie.
A lot,
all the time. And basically, they get in like a confrontation. Pretty classic story. And he tries to kill Annie by hitting her in the head with a very large flashlight.
Yeah.
And this is stopped moments before impact by Buddy, who knocks out Wayne. This was, I thought, there's those moments in movies where things are about to happen. And you're like, okay, go ahead, stop it. Somebody's going to interject. This didn't really have that for me. Like, somehow they made that moment just long enough to make it believable that she was actually going to get like killed.
Yeah, I think it held for long enough where it was like, oh.
Yeah, like, oh my God, this might actually happen. But then there's like Buddy's hand grabbing his wrist and saving the day. And Annie and Buddy put Wayne in the trunk of Annie's car. Now, Buddy ends up helping her stop the bleeding on her head with a handkerchief that she had given him earlier because his was like all nasty from working on cars, which was a nice little moment. And they drive to the police station, and Annie's like, listen, Buddy, awesome what you did, but like you got to go back to the mental hospital. Like, you can't run. And she's like, stay in the car while I go get the police. That shot of them like moving away from the car with him looking out the glass was like unbelievable.
Yeah, it was like, really great.
The look on his face was crazy. Like, I couldn't even assign it an emotion.
Yeah, there was nothing happening. It's like, it was right. Almost like an Uncanny Valley video game character where like, you're like, it almost doesn't look like a person.
Yeah.
Totally.
He's so good at that blank look. So really,
and in
really
this moment where she's like, you got to go back, you can't run, etc. He tells her that she's like the heart of this town and she's got to keep doing what she's doing. And there's a lot of like, I forgive you for not being there for me when I was breaking down. You're the only friend I ever had in this town, etc., etc. There was a lot of like emotional resolution between him and her. And then she walks into the police station.
Yeah, and as you might guess, when she gets back to the car, Buddy is gone. Poof. And so then Annie explains to Pearl, the sheriff.
Great name.
yeah, actually, really great. What had happened at the pond, and Pearl is like, listen, all of this makes sense except for the part about Buddy, because he is dead, and he actually took his own life earlier today at the mental hospital. So now, I mean, the movie's over, right? But I was lost. Like, where did your minds go for what actually happened?
Ghost.
A ghost.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing is he gave her a handkerchief.
Yeah, so how could he be a ghost?
That she had given him earlier. And she still had it in her pocket after the sheriff said he died at 6 p.m.
I mean, not to mention that someone stopped a guy from hitting her in the face.
Well, but she has so many visions in the whole movie. It's like, what is real and what is not? She's not sure until it happens. So I feel like that she could have easily done it herself and imagined that it was Buddy if it was like unresolved conflict. But the handkerchief thing that she has proves that he gave it to her because it's in her pocket. She didn't have it before and she has it now, and it does not go away after she is told that he is dead.
Yeah.
So clearly that's some sort of supernatural thing where he was a corporeal presence in that he could take a handkerchief out of his pocket and hand it to her and she could still have it later.
Yeah. And did they ever show Wayne getting out of the trunk?
No, but it was mentioned like he confessed to the whole thing, or it was just like a line about
that's
it
right.
that Pearl said. He's like, yeah, he basically said everything you did was true or whatever, except that again, he didn't see Buddy, he can't remember. So I'm going with Swayze Ghost on this one. So he was able to pick things up. He was able to appear and stop people, do stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, and so was Casper. So there's
Fair enough.
There's some logic. There's logic. Yeah, so that wraps the movie. Great movie.
I just gotta say, this is just a small thing. I want to say it in case it was part of trivia. I love that Sam Raimi continued to use JK, and even Aunt May was her grandmother. Aunt May from the Spider-Man movies, that was her grandmother in this movie. I was like, oh, it's Aunt May! I recognized her immediately. It was pretty cool.
Whoa. Totally didn't catch that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Because it's only like a 15-second scene or whatever where she like appears as like pretty much like what Buddy, like she shows up out of nowhere and, oh, Grandma, you're not supposed to be here, whatever. That's my only thing about it potentially being a ghost, because earlier in the movie she's hanging laundry, Grandma appears. I think she actually hands her something, right? But I can't.
What was? Oh, it was fruit or something.
I can't remember actually if she turned around and actually had the fruit in her hands or not. That's the only thing I'm fuzzy about. But same kind of situation here. She can maybe communicate with the other side or invoke them somehow. I have no idea. I'm talking out of my ass. However,
she's a medium.
Yeah, to some degree.
What were they? Parsnips or something? That's good. Is that even a fruit or a vegetable? There's like close to that. What are they called?
Is that even in a word?
Persimmons.
I think it was parsnips then.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a root
Parsnips
vegetable.
are like white carrots.
Sign me up. That's not what she was holding, though.
No.
They look more like peaches.
I thought there was like a tangerine or something. I have no idea, but that parsnips, I'm into it. If we didn't name these, if we like pulled the title of our episodes not from the movies but from things we said,
that would
this
be
episode
the
would be called Parsnips.
Sure.
Absolutely, for sure.
Boy, you guys, we are really due for a reckoning.
Why?
My rankings are all bollocksed up.
I mean, look at my list.
I don't even want to talk about Evan's list.
How did Little Buddha end up above Johnny Mnemonic and Chain Reaction? I would rather watch Johnny Mnemonic and Chain Reaction in a heartbeat over Little Buddha again.
Yeah, I don't want to see Blue Seattle over again.
My point is, this movie just squeaks into my top 10.
Whoa!
Ooh.
But only barely, and that will change as soon as I have a reckoning.
Wait. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I've got it currently between Point Break and Permanent Record. And why is Permanent Record so high?
Yeah, what is wrong?
It's a great film.
So, yeah, Whitney, you and I are in the same place. That's 9, right?
Yeah, number 9.
Rad.
Nice.
What about you, Andrew?
I'm putting it a little bit lower than the two of you. You could see right here where I'm going to drop it. Just under Chain Reaction.
What?
This would definitely be under Chain Reaction and under Johnny Mnemonic if we, like I said, it's only at number 10 because I would rather watch this than Permanent Record or Dracula or Little Buddha. But then I get down and it's like Johnny Mnemonic and Chain Reaction. I would totally watch those again. So I need to move those up. But like it's above 3 that I would rather watch this than Permanent Record, Dracula, or Little Buddha. So that's why it is where it is. But it'd probably be closer to 15 if it were me.
Tune In Tomorrow's in 9 for you, Andrew?
I fucking love that movie. I can't help it. I don't even know why. I've told you 100 times. I can't explain it.
There's just some kind of charm about it. It was not a great movie, but there was something about it.
Talk about a movie that had like maybe one good performance and just a story that was like, okay. And I don't know why.
God.
This movie had like 9 great performances, and I can't put it above Tune In Tomorrow. I can't do it. Like, I physically can't put it there. I feel great. I honestly feel great about my current top 10 as it is.
It's pretty good, except for Tune In Tomorrow.
There's a reckoning that will happen in the middle of my list. I feel like the top 10 and the bottom 5 are exactly where they will stay forever. But
yeah,
that middle
my
part,
top 10, my top 5, I'm very solid on.
Yeah.
My, 5 through 10 is not so good right now and needs to be fixed. My bottom ones are always going to stay my bottom ones, I think.
Yeah.
You know what? We all said that after we watched One Step Away, and probably for like a lot of movies after One Step Away. However, One Step Away is no longer a few of our
for any of us. Yeah.
So, just keep that in mind. It's all that bottom 5. That's actually a special place. Truly.
It is a special place. I think it's actually a more special place than the top 5.
Sure, the top 5 are going to be probably what you think they are. Like, there's going to be some variation there in terms of where things go, but I think that
Even
top 5 is going to be
10,
pretty.
When you talk about Keanu Reeves and your top 10 movies, like The Matrix, Speed,
Yep.
all the John Wicks once we get there, Bill and Ted, those are obviously going to be in your top 10. That's not surprising to anybody.
No.
The Replacements. The Watcher.
God, I can't believe The Watcher is in your top 10.
You can't give me shit about Tune In Tomorrow when you have The Watcher higher than that. I just realized that. Oh my God.
Wild.
Reckoning.
Buck Wild.
You just toss it any. Oh, this is Ev's game now. I know he's going to it's like my new number 1 movie is, get this, guys, Something's Gotta Give. Reckoning. And just
I always
change it.
have The Reckoning.
12 episodes from now. I understand.
Next week, I've never heard of this movie.
Oh, I'm really excited. Hold on 1 second. We ranked our movies. Do we recommend The Gift as something to watch? Just as a general yes, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Like I said, I was right around the 50-50 mark, but I think I lean towards yes, just because the performances are good. I think that it's a superlative Keanu performance. I think Cate Blanchett does really well. Giovanni Ribisi, as somebody who loves him, this is an incredible performance for him. So I think that tips me over into yes, rather than just kind of being ambivalent.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm actually right there with you, Whitney. That the performances in this, and to see what all of these people have gone on to do in their careers also. Like, everyone in this movie went on to do a lot more movies. It's not like this one thing that they're known for. They've gone on to have greater success after this, which is really great to see. So I'm there too. That's a recommend from me. All 3 of us.
Yeah.
Love it when that happens. Love it when that happens. And the rankings are done and all that good stuff. All right. Oh man, Whitney. Next week.
Yeah.
Sweet November.
We're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know this movie.
I only know of it. I've never seen this movie. As far as I could tell, just from box art, romantic comedy. I'm guessing Keanu and Charlize together. Whitney, do you know this one?
I've been thinking about that since we started recording this podcast because I am very, very, very familiar with this movie, but I can't recall if I've ever actually watched it. I don't know if it's just like so much cultural awareness of this movie that I can picture a few images from it even, but those I think are all in the trailer. So yeah. I think that maybe I have not. But it's also totally possible that I have.
We have a couple people that are, a couple of our Twitter followers are super excited about this. Someone was actually just watching it tonight. It's actually pretty interesting. I think Keanu's character's name, I believe, is Nelson. And we're doing it in November, and Whitney's leading the episode, so it's crazy! Serendipity. I just like little things like that. It's great. But until then, Whitney, where can we find you on the internet?
I am at Whitney_Nelson on pretty much everything. NELSEN. That's Twitter, definitely. Instagram without the underscore. But anyway, go to my Twitter. That's where all my podcasts are. Historical Hotties. We're about to record one that I think is going to come out right around the same time as this episode, which is going to be agriculture. We're going to talk about the hottest farmers. So check that out. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll be talking about sexy farmers. So come by and check that out. And then I've got a bunch of other podcasts too. They're all on my Twitter. You can find them there.
Love it. Love it. Evan Acree Wells.
Oh yeah, nailed it.
Where are you on the internet?
I am on Instagram at Evan Acree. That's spelled Acree. And I'm on Twitter, but it's bad. And I'm on Untapped, in case you are interested in beers. What else? I used to have a GeoCities website, but I think that's gone.
I used to have an Angel Fire website.
Whoa! Guys, I was on Lycos! What the hell?
Oh man, we ran the gamut. That's fun.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty much it, though.
Whitney, I just want to say something. And in real life,
yes,
I was doing a job last week where I filmed this job annually, and someone came up to me at this job, and Evan just happened to be with me last year, not this time, but last year, and he actually brought up, he's like, oh, man, I follow Evan on Untapped. He drinks a lot of beer. And I'm like, I cannot believe that of all the things this person has to say to me, who hasn't seen me in a year, that he brings up Ev's Untapped to me. He doesn't follow me on anything, this guy.
Of course not. Of course
Oh,
not.
that's great. I love it.
So I guess that there's an audience for that. I guess. Yeah. You matter.
Good.
So
that's
there
good.
it is. If you wanted to follow me on the internet, you could do that at Dark Driving at most places. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram. That's where I'm the most active there. And then on YouTube, I'm getting back into the teaching of the filmmaking stuff. So that's very exciting. It's about time. It's good to get back into it. So with all that, thank you all for joining us. And in the words of Bill S. Preston and Ted Theodore Logan, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.